I will say accounting in Seattle helped me become comfortable being the only woman in the room at times. And at first, I think I stayed a little quiet, maybe. And then the more you get your legs under you, the more you realize I need to speak up or else nobody's gonna ask me what's going on. So that was a good, I think, stepping stone. And then stepping into this role and being the only woman in the room in a room full of, let's say, 10, 50-year-old dudes who are in charge of if my beer is gonna get sold in Portland or not has been a very different experience. And they have a history with terminal gravity and past owners that are 50-year-old men like them. So it's been a lot of me learning that one, I'm not them and I'm not going to be, and that's okay. So having the confidence to say, here's what I'm expecting, here's the outcome I want, and being confident about that. It was a lot of power stances in the bathroom, pumping myself up and being like, you know everything you're about to talk about, you know what's going on, you care, you're gonna figure it out. I'm Natalie Millar. I'm the CEO at Terminal Gravity Brewing, or TG, as you'll hear me say. I grew up here in Wallowa County and left for a while, and now I'm back. I'm often asked what I do in a day at Terminal Gravity, and it is such a hard thing to answer. Anything and everything. Sometimes bills, sometimes payroll, sometimes I'm figuring out what to do with a bunch of kegs that aren't selling. Sometimes I'm in Portland selling beer at bars. Sometimes I'm on the phone for 7 hours. Sometimes I'm just walking around the pub having a beer and checking in on people. It's such a varied experience, but a lot of the time I'm on my computer checking email, which isn't as fun. Coordinating things, planning for future events. I'm doing a lot of the finances, so books and reconciling statements and kind of budgeting and figuring out what it's gonna look like for us. But yeah, so a lot of anything and everything. If somebody needs something or if something's gone wrong, I call it CEO the job of what are my 3 problems of the day? And I get to find out throughout the course of a day, every day. It can be stressful. It can also be really rewarding. That was my biggest thing. Coming from the corporate style in Seattle and working at a huge firm, I didn't enjoy how small you feel and how I knew once I quit, I was getting replaced pretty much immediately. Like, it wasn't a big deal, which is good in some ways because I didn't need to feel bad. But I was excited to be somewhere where you're valuable and you're cared about and people know what's going on with you. And I wanted that to continue to carry through with me starting here, and I wanted to even improve some of the things we offer to our employees and make it somewhere that's not just a job, but something you enjoy and not something that's like, if you're not here 40 hours a week, that's it kind of thing. I really have felt empowered to create a workplace that embodies the things I want from work and making sure that that carries through for everybody else as well. It's been fun to get to kind of steer the ship and decide, all right, I want things to go this way. I want this for myself. I want to make sure my employees have it as well. I try to always remind people we're selling beer, we're selling food, we're not saving lives. Like, obviously we want to do that the best we can, and we want everyone that comes here to have an amazing experience. We want everyone that drinks our beer to love it, but we also want our employees to be happy. Like, what's the point of a job if you're miserable? I just have no interest in working in a place where anybody doesn't enjoy their day here. It of course happens, but if the goal is that everybody's enjoying themselves, that plays out a lot better. I think one thing to remember, I think your 20s feel very stressful and very scary, and like every decision you make is for forever or will be what you have to do for 10 or 20 years. And I think remembering that nothing is permanent, everything's malleable, and that nobody has it all figured out, I think is really important and helpful. Feel empowered, feel confident, feel okay if you don't feel confident. And yeah, I really do think we can do whatever we want. You just really have to have the mindset and the drive to do it. So that would be my advice, I think.